So Dom is going to be back a little bit.
Yeah, it's good. It's Dom's done a tremendous job with his rehab. Usually those injuries have taken a little bit. He's worked his butt off, stayed engaged the whole time. Been real good with the young guys and helping them out, and it's just good to have him back.
What's he provide you?
There's that veteran leadership. There's that. It's hard because he hasn't done a lot lately. And there's a little bit of rust obviously there. Similar when MSG missed, someone's got to miss those games. His first game back, he provided some good things, but there was a lot of rust there. And then every game he's been better and better. The thing Dom really provides is he's got that bulldog attitude. He is a warrior. He's a tough kid, competitor, and we love that about him.
Does it just provide a lift for your other guys to know he's going to be out there with it?
Yeah, I think it does. I think it does. And it's hard. It's hard anytime a guy's hurt. It's hard for them to feel that they're part of something. And I think that allowed him to come back and truly feel like he's a part of this deal.
How excited is Dom about it?
I think he's excited. Like anybody, I think he's a little nervous, but he's a little excited and all that stuff. So.
What a stage to come back to.
Yeah. But like I said, he's worked his butt off. You really worry when guys get hurt if they mentally, because they're not involved. It's hard for them to stay engaged a lot of times. He's been phenomenal.
Is there ever any thought of pulling him out and trying to apply for a 6th year?
Researched it. Dom researched it. We researched it. If we thought he could get it, that might have been a steal. Real suspect.
Yeah.
Otherwise, might have done that.
Is he going to be on any sort of pitch count, or could he conceivably play the whole way?
We'll see how it goes. We're just kind of going to play it by ear a little bit and see how it goes.
So would he start or play significant time? Or?
He's going to play. Kind of leave it there, and all the other guys will play too. So
Can he play on either side?
He could play. He could play probably all 3 positions inside if he really wanted to.
But right guard would be
probably right now.
I think as an offense, as skilled perimeter people, you'd have an advantage of quickness in all over team.
Yeah. We got some speed out there and some good things but you got to get the ball to those. And Stanford just does a phenomenal job of they execute so dang well. They don't make mistakes, and then their schemes enough that they change things up. That there's no real gimmicks. You got to go work for everything against these guys.
With their length in the front 7, is a risk of having passes batted down more prevalent?
Yeah, but there are a lot of times when guys bat passes down, it's because they stop rushing. And they kind of stand there and then they put their hand out. These guys don't stop rushing. So they'll bat a few down, but it's more they're pretty high motor guys. They keep coming and coming and coming. So the protection of stopping them and keeping away from the quarterback is a bigger goal than that.
How do you feel you guys are relishing the physical challenge of that?
I think it's good. I think we got some competitive guys that want to go compete and know this is a dang good defense. Even the games they've lost, that defense has been stout. Washington had 2 plays. They really looked at the game.
2 kind of freakish plays too, right?
Yeah. A broken tackle and a quick throw to a receiver. And a 4th and 1 where they just busted it. So this is a dang stout defense, a veteran defense. Same defense we played minus 1 guy last year. This is a big group.
Keenan's 6 catches away from the school record, 7 games into his junior year. Can you talk about that accomplishment?
That's a heck of a deal. I was Jeff MacArthur, I think, is the guy that has it, correct? And I was here when Jeff did it, and that's a pretty neat deal. It's a pretty tall order. Sometimes Keenan might not know how big that is till later in life. I know he thinks he's a young guy and he's got a whole life ahead of him, a career ahead of him. But when I think of Jeff and the warrior he was, and that's a pretty good company. We were trying to figure out if he broke that record, if it was in the big game. Really? This senior, we were trying to figure that out. But I think that was Jeff's last game with the big game, so it's kind of fitting.
Back when they used to play the big game on the 3rd Saturday of November.
Instead of whenever it fits into the schedule.
TV.
You have to tell us about it. That's why your game going to 10 after 11 tonight.
Yeah. Arizona was really the only team that's been able to put up big yardage, big points on Stanford. What did they do?
They did
with that anomaly?
Did a good job of moving things around. So, passing game, quarterback played real well down there. Did some good things.
Was it just their spread, or?
It was a little bit, and just kind of got on a little bit of roll and hit a couple plays here.
It seemed like you used a lot more quick stuff the other day, quick passing.
A little bit more, yeah.
Is that
We've
a good
if
idea
you really
against
look at
these
it. Well, again, we want to keep people off balance, and sometimes the game before we moved it around a little bit more outside perimeter stuff, and this last game we used a little more quick stuff. So every game we got our own little wrinkles that we can look at.
Be able to run a little more on the interior against Washington State than maybe throughout the season. Was that a consequence of who you were playing, or the development of the line?
I think of the way they played it. You don't go in saying we're going to do this and only this. You go in with a plan of how to attack them on multiple fronts. Same with the deal. We want to outflank them at times. You want to go divide them at times and do different things. I think as the game wore on and some of their plan and how their players were playing stuff, it kind of presented us more of the inside stuff. So we kind of went for it.
same thing with Zach in terms of him running the ball?
He was running the ball.
Situations were there.
Those were there, and a lot of those were off the inside run. So the inside run thing started to happen, and they started to shrink down, and he pulled it to the outside.
How much does his ability to give you that extra dimension help you?
Oh, it's an extra running back. In those run plays, it's an extra guy that they have to count.
You guys really hadn't been able to run on the inside, or it didn't present itself earlier on. Was that maybe a consequence of the guys not being mature enough to run
Well, there's
inside?
certain things. I mean, you're always evolving, always trying to get better. And I think some of it's that, some of it's the scheme of your opponent. Some defenses are a little bit more tailored to take certain things away.
It's like this season, probably won't have 1,000-yard rusher, but you have a really interesting mix of the guys that are in there. How can that be to your advantage? They're not having one guy who's going to get 1,200 yards, but having three or
I'd like to get four that had 1,200.
Yeah, but how can that be an advantage for you, say, in this game?
Well, one of the good advantages is each of these guys are a little bit different. They present a different look to the defense. Okay, even though they're people and they run things different, they have a different running style. And I think they can't lock into one running style. It really helps.
Yeah.
It seemed like last week was the first time that, maybe I'm wrong, but it felt like you had a good feel for how to use all three of them effectively in the same game.
Yeah, and they ran hard. I mean, and sometimes, I'd like to say every play works perfectly and everybody's blocked and they just kind of run until someone touches them. That's not the case. Those guys were running really hard and making plays.